Hello, Leo. Welcome. It's time for love in the full moon. This is a general love reading for all Leos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs in some kind of a relationship. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get this going. All right, dear universe, we ask that the messages be for the greatest and highest good for all of our Leos out there who are in love. Grateful, thankful for the messages for the greatest and highest good for all of our Leos in love for this full moon of January. Tomorrow's the full moon. So grateful, thankful for the messages for all of our Leos. Yeah, let's do a couple more shuffles, Leo, and see what it is. What's going on in your world of love? Messages for the greatest and highest good for our Leos in love. All right, your overall energy. I think you're at a position where you've been really thinking about making a move and you haven't made it as of yet. You've stayed more in order to keep the waters calm. You have just kind of stayed grounded and focused on what it is that your duties are, so to speak. Maybe they're your wifely duties, or I just get some kind of duties. So you may be dealing with a Virgo. This Hermit is reversed. But I feel like you're at that point where you have stayed quiet long enough that you're ready to move on and say something. You're not going to stay quiet very much longer. So that's your overall energy that I'm picking up. So everyone, take what works, leave what doesn't. If the message is for you, that's terrific. And if it's not, that's okay. All right, so let's see what's going on at this time. All right, Leo, I just feel like there's somebody out there. You're ready to just embark on your own. You're not, whoever this is, if you're involved with somebody, or maybe if you're not involved with someone. I feel like it's the same for either, whether you're committed or not. That there's this real need for some kind of sense of freedom. You might have been working with somebody, maybe this relationship that you were involved with. I feel like the two of you were never, I think you started to see that you weren't on the same page. And now you've been sitting quietly trying to go along. But it's like, this is your future. Can you really continue going when you just don't see a future? It's just not, you're just not feeling it. So I think this full moon, and if it hasn't happened, it's probably going to happen within the next few weeks. I think a lot is going to come out, and I think a lot's going to come out, and I'm feeling like you better be very careful of how it comes out. Some of you may purge, and you may be just like spitting stuff out about how you really feel, everything that you've been holding back, because you've had this inner like turmoil kind of churning inside of you, so I feel like it's time to just sit back and just start to make some moves about the truth of what you want for your future. Put things back in order, because I feel like things in your life have been a little out of order. So you might be at that point now where you're ready to put things back in order. All right, so now I also see you have this King of Swords above you. So this is your energy. This King is reversed. So, I think everything is coming. Okay, and I think you've been waiting, wondering, gosh, when am I going to feel better? When are things going to shift? But you've been very solitary. You haven't been really opening up, and now you're really ready to open up. And it's like, it can't be an all or nothing. So be very careful with your words, because I think opportunities are going to start to move in your direction. There's something you have wanted for a very long time. And I feel like now it's starting to come to pass where you know that you've got to make some decisions. Unfortunately, again, it has to do with how you speak to this person. There's a tone, there's an energy that can leave a bad taste in your mouth or their mouth. It's just, just be very careful that, you don't say something you can't take back. Because this need for you to be free and to be open and to express yourself is very important. But how you do that, I think, is even more important at this time. So at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Swords with the Eight of Cups. So you've been putting this decision off for quite a while now. And putting off the decision, it starts to rattle you a little bit, makes you feel a little bit insecure until you start to make a decision about what you really want to do. Because this Knight of Swords, this is a very passive-aggressive energy. And it sits here on top of this Eight of Cups. I mean, it's like, do you want to stay or do you want to go? What is it that you really want? Do you really want to be alone and on your own? Or do you really want to make this relationship you're involved in work? Because I feel like it's a committed relationship with this Queen. She comes out. That's usually a married person. So I feel like whether you're married or not, I mean, you guys are committed. But I also see that the two of you aren't even, you guys have two different, perspectives, visions, and you just don't see a future. They just don't meet and they don't match for a future. And I think this might be a conversation that comes up during this full moon. But you've got to open your eyes to really what it is that you want. Because you don't want any regrets. Because I think there's been a lot of conflict, either like it's inner conflict or conflict with you and your person. But this Five of Swords, this energy of the Five of Swords, it's one of these where, when you guys do fight, somebody walks away, don't chase after them yelling at them. When the fight's over, it's over. And I feel like this is that energy that I want you to be aware of. It's like, be very careful of your words when you're dealing with this person, especially if you're trying to break free. Maybe you don't want to break free completely. Maybe you just want more freedom within the relationship. So, I mean, be very clear as to what it is you truly want with this person. Because I don't think that you really are ready to put a complete end to it. If you're really done, then you're really done. If you're really ready to make some changes, then you are going to make some of these changes. But again, you have to be very careful with how you say things. It's almost like you don't want something to end. Maybe there's something else we can do. But I think you have to be very honest right now. Because you've got to put things back in order. Okay, let's see. Ooh, the cards are just flying. That's a lot of cards. But let me take a quick peek. See, I just get the sense that somebody is not very committed in this relationship. One person is more committed than the other. And there's this need and this want that, maybe I'll be happier if I'm on my own. But I don't know how to express that. Maybe all you need is a little bit more space between the two of you. But there's a disconnect that's going on. That's for sure. Okay, let's get another deck. Let's use this deck. Bottom of the deck, we got Temperance. Patience. That's a good word for you for this full moon. But the energy of your tone keeps coming back to mind. It's like, there's a way for everybody to feel good in a conversation if everybody watches their tone and they respects the other. But I do see somebody moving on and moving away. It was, once things come out, everybody feels better because now nobody's guessing. And right now, here we have the 6 reversed. And then it comes out and it turns around. Because you haven't been wanting to really say or express what it is that's been on your mind. But once you say what you have to say, everybody's going to feel better. And I think you've been waiting to see whether or not, you can do that. Because it's almost like there's something inside of you that's really churning. And if you don't get it out, when it finally does come out, it could be explosive. So say, I did this in the last reading. Say what you have to say. I I think that was for a Sagittarius. Maybe you're dealing with a Sagittarius. But don't hold back. If there's something you feel like you need to say and express, I think it's time for you to do it during this full moon. Yeah, because it's like you're playing victim. Don't play victim. That's not going to work for you. You know, don't play victim, you know, because you're all confused because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You know, if there's something that you need to say and put an end to whatever's been bothering you, this is the time. This is definitely the time. So you're going to have to open up, you know, because, again, now we have the Eight of Cups reversed. You know, not saying anything is worse than saying something. Because, like I said, everything's on the table. Now nobody's guessing. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Leo. I hope this resonated. If it did, that's terrific. And if it didn't, that's okay. Take what works, leave what doesn't. Next week, I'll be throwing out some more readings. So, yeah, I'll see you at the next one. Until then, blessed be. Bye now.